What's up, guys? This is Rashina.
And Sean,
It's the Digital 828 Collective. We're back at it for our weekly Sunday recap, where we recap all things crypto, XRP from Monday, March 31st through today, Sunday, April 6th. And we got some um, game-changing topics for you tonight. So the first thing we want to talk about tonight, we're not going to jump right in, but here's just an overview of what we're going to cover. We're going to cover some developments for XRP, for Stellar, for Hedera, for XDC, IOTA, and Algorand. Even some news about Ripple listing their stablecoin on a major exchange. We also got crypto invading the TikTok space. And listen, we're going to break it down all for you and why it matters. So let's just jump right in. You want to get started, Sean?
let's go.
All right. So our first topic tonight is about Ripple. And what did they do, Sean? I'll let you have that one.
Let me see what they do. Lord have mercy. They integrated the U.S. dollar backed stablecoin RLUSD into a Ripple payment network for cross border transactions. Now this
Mm-hmm.
is major news.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that now RLUSD is going to be used for cross-border payments. And you know that was Ripple's main goal, is to start doing cross-border payments for other
Right.
countries, for CBDCs, wherever that part, or they want to do transfer of money to different countries. So now both XRP and RLUSD will be used. And every time they use RLUSD, they burn a portion of XRP.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, so it's a small percentage, but you got to remember, if this taking place 365 days a year,
Oh, yeah, that's a
24/7,
lot.
that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be a whole lot of XRP
Mm-hmm.
being burned a year. And
Mm-hmm.
remember, it's only 100 billion of XRP. It's not even quite 100 billion now, because it burns every time it's been used. So we are looking at a game changer here. And I know Brad Garlenhart is extra happy about this part.
Not just him, other people too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
XRP holders as well.
Mm-hmm. So listen, that is major news, and that happened on April 2nd, guys. So we're gonna jump on to April 3rd. So what happened on April 3rd is this company called Digital Wealth Partners launched two new investment funds exclusively for XRP holders, an income fund and a growth fund, letting accredited investors earn returns without selling their XRP.
Mm.
And this is uh, and this is like a Wall Street style type product for crypto. So it gives long-term XRP holders a way to put their coins to work, earning income or growth similar to stocks or bonds. That's exciting, y'all. That is exciting news. And so, and it gives XRP holders a fresh way to interact with your assets. So, it just, in simple terms, it means XRP is being treated as a serious asset class by financial firms, potentially drawing more big investors and increasing confidence in retail holders.
Now,
That-
if you listen to that, even with the RLUSD
Mhm.
information, and now this, I'm telling you, that they're setting XRP up to explode. This my opinion. This my opinion. I do believe that they're setting this XRP to explode greatly. You don't see or hear any other token is being done like this. Not either Ethereum or Bitcoin, Solana,
Mhm.
Litecoin. None of these coins is getting as much exposure as XRP. So that they trying to tell y'all something. I mean, uh, I hope you paying
I
attention.
hope you're listening.
Yeah,
Right, right, right.
and
Yeah, that,
now I'm sorry to cut you off, but that
okay.
to make extra funds without even selling your XRP, man, you mean you don't have
Right.
to touch, you don't have to try to sell it. You can just keep it and just make money off of passive income off of that. I mean, that's a game changer. You know, who wouldn't want passive income coming in each and every week or however they're doing every month? But I
Mm-hmm.
had to do a little more excuse me, research on it because I didn't know anything about the in credit investing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, well, we giving y'all this information for what we always say. Do your own research. So now that we giving you information, this is just the beginning of your research. So jump in there, check it out, and look at it. I think that one is definitely worth looking more into. So this same company, Digital Wealth Partners, they also are touching XLM through a partnership with Anchorage Digital.
Mm.
It's a federally chartered crypto bank, Anchorage Digital. This happened on April 3rd. And what happened is custody support means big investors like funds or companies can securely hold XLM with regulatory compliance. And this is crucial because institutions need safe legal ways to handle crypto assets. And the firm's CCO, Max Crane, said expanding access to stellar lumens
Mm.
reflects our ongoing efforts to support clients as they navigate the evolving digital asset landscape. So this is just saying that this just hints that Stellar Network XLM is gaining trust in traditional finance circles as well. And it could lead to more adoption for XLM for things like cross-border payments and even central bank projects.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I know XRM is basically for retail uh,
hmm
use.
hmm
So that's good that they pulling both of them in there at the
hmm
same time. And I do remember reading some information about the IMF saying that XRP and XLM will be stable coins. We
Oh
ain't talking
wow.
about stable as a dollar. They'll be
Mm-hmm.
stable as in their price, so they won't fluctuate up and down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting that they would just pull these two in and no other ones. So that's good.
That's excellent. So it's just no, it's just one more thing to say that coin is being welcomed into the mainstream financial fold.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so this big things happening for these ISO 200 2020 or 22 coins. I always get tongue tied when I say that. But so this one, and this one to me is very interesting. This next one. This happened on April 2nd as well. This is where HBAR submitted a surprise bid to
Oh,
acquire TikTok.
mm.
Now that's something major to me, and this is the eye-opening example of the crypto entities aiming to take over mainstream.
That's.
And go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, no, no. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was thinking because I do remember that Elon Musk was trying to buy TikTok at one time,
Mm-hmm.
and now
Mm-hmm.
here come H bar. Mm.
HBAR.
But
Yes.
go ahead.
Listen. So and HBAR said their I guess who was to say this? Their founder, Tim Stokely, said our bid for TikTok isn't just about, changing the ownership. It's about creating a new paradigm for where both creators and their communities benefit directly from the value they generate. Oh no, I'm sorry, and that wasn't said by Tim Stokely. That was said by co-founder R.J. Phillips. So
Hmm.
that highlighting their plans for a more user-centric revenue models. But think about this: a crypto company owning TikTok. Think about the adoption of HBAR if they won that bid, because I'm sure they would adopt HBAR into the use of how people, because they have on TikTok. You may not know this, Sean, but they have this thing in there called the TikTok shop where people shop and buy products, right?
Okay.
And so if if HBAR was to win this bid, I'm sure they'll probably add in, like, the HBAR has been an accepted payment.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too because with Elon Musk with X, the company
Mm-hmm.
X, was formerly known as Twitter, he
Mm-hmm.
already setting up where you can actually pay all your bills on X, buy stuff on X, and we already know that XRP will be used for payments on that. So if HBAR be used for payments on TikTok, man, good.
Ooh-wee.
That
That's
that
something.
that is.
That could see HBAR could see massive usage for everyday users. And then they could, and then with it, social media, you post on there, they might even reward you with crypto for your engagement on TikTok.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
yeah, you just never know. I mean, but that's a big thing. We got to keep our eye on that one.
Yeah, HBAR have been lately been really going
Listen.
up. They've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes as getting noticed. Just like XRP and the XLM, they've been doing a lot. And I can see HBAR and XRP joining together doing different payments. Because
Well, listen, I agree. I think HBAR is a hidden gem. Like, some people might say, "Oh, well, we know about it." Well, if you know about it, great. A lot of people may not know about it, and
right,
talk about it as much. But you should know about it, and it offers a lot of utility. Our collective on our Patreon page, we put out a comprehensive guide for HBAR. So if
mm,
you are part of the collective and are a pay subscriber, you would be able to get that guide, and it's very detailed, and it shows you a lot of the utility and the potential of that
mm.
coin.
Yeah, I did some reading on the information you gather, and a lot of things I didn't know about HBAR, and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be I think like you say I think it's a gem that a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people is not paying attention to.
Uh-huh,
It,
for
it,
sure.
yeah, it's gonna be a game changer. I can tell you that
Listen,
now.
yeah, all these coins for the ISO 222. I had to take my time so that they have offer a lot of utility, a lot of utility. That's why they're probably a part of that exclusive list.
Yeah,
So,
I can see that now. Why
mm-hmm,
they chose only 7 or 8 to go
mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm,
run this new system.
for sure. Um, so our next topic, Sean, is from March 31st. This is where the European Commission and IOTA Foundation highlighted in a new analysis for their collaboration on EU digital identity and product tracking solution using IOTA's blockchain. So an EU-backed initiative supports IOTA's Web3 ID, a digital identity wallet, and digital product passports for goods.
Okay,
All right. So, um, I don't have much interaction with IOTA with that. Do you?
I don't know too much about our order, but I do know doing a excuse me doing some
Mm,
reading on it. I know it's going to be used for I guess the cities they're building. They're called smart cities, and I think that our order will be used for that smart city, where they actually will be, I guess, like towers around the whole city, and they'll have to
yeah.
use our order for that. But
Yes.
I think, if not mistaken, our order is part of the ISO 222. I think.
Well, in this one, it says that the part of the European Union's efforts, this is part of their efforts to implement the next gen digital identity infrastructure by 2026. And so they basically want technology for critical uses like ID wallets, so storing your driver's license or your diploma, securely on your phone, and product
Oh,
passports to track items through supply chains and for safety and sustainability. So,
oh,
yeah, that's something big. That's something big to be able to have your IDs,
mm-hmm.
you know, housed on the blockchain.
Now I get it. They're gonna be
So that,
responsible for pretty much a digital ID. Sound like
hmm yeah, yeah, housing them on, that's something to be able to house them on, like I said, the blockchain.
yeah. Well,
That's something.
I do believe everything will be put on the blockchain sooner or
Listen,
later.
hmm yeah, stuff is going digital like quite often. When have you like just give you an example? Don't you go to places that don't take cash?
Yep.
They don't take cash anymore. It says digital payments only,
hmm you're
right?
seeing that more and more if you go in different cities, and
Mm-hmm.
they tell you up front, hey, we don't accept cash, only
Mm-hmm.
credit card and or debit card. I'm gonna say
Which is digital payments.
correct. But
Yeah. So just mhm.
they're getting everybody ready. Because I know
Yeah.
when I go get gas, I don't use my credit card anymore. Actually, my credit card is on my phone, my Google Wallet. So
Mm-hmm.
you put your number in, and then you scan it with your phone on the
Mm-hmm.
little thing by the pump, and
Mm-hmm.
it goes right there. So I say, wow. So they really are really pushing this digital form in a sense because you get people get they're used to tapping their phone now. I go into
Yeah.
gas
Yeah.
stations,
Uh-huh.
convenience stores or grocery stores. They got their phone and they tapping and they gone.
They
So
easing you into it. They easing you into,
right,
just like when the cell phone came out. They ease you into it. Just like when the bank card, debit cards came out. You know, they
yep,
and people had to transition from writing checks all the time
yep.
to using a debit card. People transition from using your house phone or a pay phone to
Yep.
using a cell phone or a beeper when that stuff was so it's just like they keep introducing these things, and and you ease into them slowly until it becomes your norm.
And it's funny you said cell. No, was it cell phone? Yeah.
Cell
How
phones.
how
Mm-hmm.
they had the house phone, then they
Mm-hmm.
start, like you said, pay phones. You remember everybody, if you had to go make a phone call, you had to have a quarter and then call the person, talk on
Listen,
the
are
phone.
we telling you guys like our age by talking about no a payphone? Because some of these generations don't even know what a payphone is.
Yeah, you're right. But I just thought about this generation right here
Mm-hmm.
will be the last generation that they ever see cash.
Oh, that's something.
hmm
That's something.
Yep, their children will never know what cash look like unless they have a picture of it.
Wow. Listen, that's why you have to really, like we say all the time, do your own research and about take the information that you get and build upon it so that
Right.
you're ready for the next financial era.
Yeah, it's
Um,
here. It's here.
listen, yeah, it's here. It has not been fully adopted, but it's here.
hmm
So let's go to our next one. Unless you got anything else. You got something
No,
else, Sean?
no, I
Okay.
haven't.
All right. So what's this next one? Let's see.
XDC.
Oh, okay. XCC. We kind of introduced this a little bit last our last weekly recap. Um, but XDC and um Plug and Play Tech Center, which is a Silicon Valley accelerator. They launched the XDC Real World Asset Tokenization Accelerator. It's a 3-month program to incubate projects that put my thing fell. Real world assets on the blockchain. So over 10 startups were selected from 100 plus applicants that kicked off the cohort, building on XDC's network for use cases like trade finance, supply chain, and lending with tokenized assets. This began on March 18th, with the lineup publicly announced on March 23rd. And activities should continue through Q2 2025. So it's tokenizing, it's basically the foundation of this is tokenizing real world assets like invoices, real estates, or commodities. Um, so it's converting physical or financial assets into digital tokens on the blockchain. And Accelerator indicates XDC is emerging as a leader in that space.
Mm.
Um, Yes. So, just digital, like we were just saying about no longer using, cash for certain things. And this is just a different way of a different I guess area of doing the same thing. So we're not
Mm.
talking about cash anymore. But we're talking about like actual invoices, talking about actual real estate. We're talking about actual contracts, things like that that are physical, like cash is physical, but will be put on the blockchain for digital housing and storage
Yeah.
and connection, our execution.
Hmm. I think XDC will be used for global trading because
Hmm.
that's gonna be digital as well. So they're gonna have to use XDC for the global trading. That's gonna be very interesting to see because everybody's so used to doing certain things or trading around the world, different country, but they're gonna have to use XDC. XDC is another I say a sleeping giant.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's quiet. But it's gonna do a lot of different areas. You're gonna be into different areas as time go progress down the road.
Right. And think about it. This makes like tokenizing physical assets on the blockchain could make like transferring a house or which is an asset, real estate asset,
Mm.
transferring a house as easy as sending an email. Think
Yep.
about that.
Hmm.
Think about how easy it is to send an email. And think about now what you have to go through to transfer a house into like when you buy or purchase a house, you have to go through all these contract signings and it's all take time, all these scheduling the closing, getting everybody to the table,
Hmm.
making sure all the documents is right and having a closing delayed if something ain't right with the funds and all these things that happen with the closing, with the transfer of property. But tokenizing this asset could make it, like I just said again, as easy. The transfer could be as easy as sending an email, clicking the send button.
Yeah, and I think that's where we heading to is tokenization. Uh,
Hmm.
I heard a lot of Larry Fint. If y'all don't know who that is, he's over BlackRock, and he's
Hmm.
always talking about. Excuse me. He's always talking about tokenization, how
Hmm.
things are going to be tokenized in the near future.
Hmm.
So, like you said, you're going to be able to own parts of real estate, you
Hmm.
and other people, because they'll be able to buy into real estate. There'll be
Right.
a tokenized real estate. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to play on down the road,
Right.
because I think everything going to be tokenized. I mean, everything. You might be tokenized. No, I'm
But you know what? You know what?
I'm
It's
trying
just,
to be funny.
but it's just, it's for efficiency. Like, who doesn't want things like what's the thing? Work smarter, not harder. You
Right.
know, you want to say just like okay, I feel like that writing checks, the example I used earlier, writing checks. When the debit card came out, I feel like check writing became tokenized on a debit card. You know, because you can pay someone with a debit card or send money with a debit card quicker and faster than you can with a check. Because with a check, they have to slide it through that little thing and see if it get approved, and then it takes a couple days to get to the other side. Where the money is going to be coming out. You got to clear it. It's got to clear, and then they won't like sometimes it depending upon what you're writing a check for. They won't release whatever you're buying unless it's groceries or something like that until the check clears. So like, but when you use a debit card, your transaction settles much quicker. So
Yeah.
I feel like that the check writing process became tokenized with a debit card.
I like that. I never looked at it that way. And also, I
Mm-hmm.
would add too is, with the payments hitting your account, sometimes it takes a couple of days. Even with a debit card, it's showing
Mm-hmm.
that it went through, but the funds is still in your bank until, especially if it's over the weekend. The bank
Mm-hmm.
kind of can't do anything. But this is where XRP come in. You know, it's for
It's going to actually
settling payment.
settle.
Yeah, so
Hmm
it's settling payment. So when you swipe your card or tap your phone, that money gone out of your account.
So, so theoretically, XDC could tokenize the transaction, and XRP could cause the settlement to go faster.
Right. Well, you know, XTC, from my understanding, they settle quicker than XRP.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
they the only one that settles that fast. So that's why I
Okay.
say it's gonna be a game changer. It's, especially when they get to trading, digital trading.
Listen, this stuff is going to literally change how you do pretty much everything you do, like all the things you do.
Yep.
Like when this becomes more mainstream as it is going, and we're seeing it progress. Like the
Right.
train has already left the station, and
Rodrigo.
so yeah, so this is happening, and you just need to know about it. Just like people who I just remember, I'm gonna use an example. My aunt, when she was like, "I'm not getting no debit card. I'm not getting no debit." When debit cards first came out, she only trusted going to the bank and actually depositing her money, or going and cashing and actually going and paying a bill in person.
Hmm.
you know, but you know,
Hmm.
that became archaic after a while and a
Right.
headache because everything had changed and everybody else was doing it the more efficient, quicker way. And now you're
Hmm.
having to take more time out of
Right.
your day and everybody else is taking more of everybody else's time because you don't adopt. You don't adopt, you don't move forward. Now I
Oh,
understand looking at risk to see, okay, what's the risk for me to doing this? That's fine. Do that. Look at the risk, but don't just act out of fear because you are afraid of change.
I don't. I would add too is really adapting to a new environment. I say,
Hmm
and a lot of people get fearful of think change. A lot of people just don't like change. But you got to look at it as a way too. Is as you get older, your age change. So what are you going to do? Is you going to just sit down and just let your age take over, or you going to get up and say, "Hey, bump this.
Keep moving, keep
I'm gonna
rolling with
keep
life.
moving. I'm gonna work this out. So
Yes.
I look at everything. Um, I say change is not always bad.
No, change is never bad because and this is me going to the Bible now. Listen, I know everybody ain't with the Bible, but I am, and I want to just share this example with you that God made everything to produce. Like we go through seasons, right? We don't stay in the same season forever.
Right.
So that's change, right? We
Mm.
don't we when you put something in the ground for it to grow, it starts as a seed, but it changes into something else. So what in life does not go through change? Nothing.
That's true.
So, I don't see how you can exist on the work in the world and think that things are not going to go through a change. It's just not how anything works. I mean, even your food, if you leave it sitting out for too long, it changes.
It sure do.
so, so nothing, there's not one thing that does not change unless, I don't know, unless it's indestructible. Maybe, I don't know, plastic. Oh,
Hmm.
But you know what? That still goes through change because it starts off one way and becomes another form. So everything goes through change, like I said. But anyway, let us get back to our crypto. So, so our next topic is RLUSD listed on Kraken.
Woo, woo.
Listen, oh my gosh. So Ripple officially launched RUSD on the Kraken platform, enabling trading pairs with top assets like USD, EUR, and BTC. This was announced and became active on April 3rd. That's
Now
amazing.
we spoke about Ripple RLUSD to be the
hmm
first thing, and now this happening with
hmm
Kraken listening on their platform. That means what? Coinbase, Binance.
hmm
because the uphold already listed. It's already on the uphold. So you talking about now it's going to be exposed to all these exchanges, and the way I'm hearing RLUSD is being minted by the trillions.
Listen, it's giving that stable coin instant visibility and access to millions of traders worldwide. Millions of traders worldwide. Listen, and this move validates RLUSD's role in the growing regulated stablecoin market.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it's just that is amazing. Did you just heart the video? You just hearted the video?
I didn't do
Or,
that.
or maybe just felt your excitement.
And maybe, but I saw that. I don't know where it
you
came.
just felt your excitement. All right then.
But yeah, I mean that right there alone
Mm.
is to the exposure that RL is USD is getting already. You
Oh
know,
man.
look how fast it's moving. It came out December the 17th, 2024.
Uh-huh.
This is April the 5th, 6th.
Mm.
Not even a good 90 days or 120 days. Already it's being listed on these exchanges, and it's being
Mm.
minted by the trillions of dollars, and it's being used a lot. And then it's going to be on the cross border payments with XRP.
Listen,
That's woo. Ripple knows exactly. You know, I'm sitting here thinking they playing this well.
they are.
They got
Mm.
some great people behind the scene. Is doing a lot. And I remember one of the guys here talk. He said, "We're not here just to do cross border payments. We are here to put a
Mm.
dent in the universe." And
All
I
right then.
and I see what he's talking about.
Put a
They
dent in the universe.
they
Okay.
putting a dent in the universe. Now that's something big.
Make your mark.
And you put a dent in the universe, but
You're
everybody
bad.
remember
You
you
bad. You
a
bad.
thousand of years.
Yeah,
There go
you
Ripple.
bad. All
So
right. So
that's good. That's real good.
that is something, right? To trade and to be paired with USD. That's the dollar, right? So listen,
Mm,
being traded as a pair against the US dollar, the European, their fiat currency,
right.
and Bitcoin.
Mm.
That's something.
So
Think about.
it's like some competition is here.
I already said that the train has left the station. Is you getting on? If not, you may not be coming back to pick you up.
Nah, if you miss it, you gone. I mean, that's it. You know
Listen,
how you had to wait for the next train. We don't know how long that train gonna be,
listen, who knows?
or if there's gonna be
Who
another train.
exactly? Who knows? All right, so this is our last topic for the night. Where Coinbase launched XRP Futures. So
Mm,
Coinbase Derivatives Exchange, a subsidiary of Coinbase Global Inc., announced it will launch XRP future contracts, regulated cash settlement products that allow traders to speculate on XRP's price without holding the asset directly. And the XRP futures are set to launch on April 21st, 2025. And so that has not happened yet, of course, because we're at April 6th. But we wanted to at least let you know about it. This is a big, 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 big announcement. Big announcement.
now I don't think people understand how big this is. I really don't. I don't think they understand. Coinbase is about to put XRP on the map for real, and Coinbase is one of the largest exchanges in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna have a XRP future. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God!
Listen,
Look what everything's happening in April. We
listen.
start off real good at the end of March. Now coming into April within 6 days, all these announcements is being
Mm-hmm.
made. We still got stablecoin. They saying that's gonna drop this month. This week coming up, I know that there's a lot of things gonna be taking place. They say Paul Atkins maybe on April the 9th will be taking over the SEC chair.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome Powell comes out on Thursday
Mm-hmm.
with the job report and where he going to be cutting interest this week. So he's going to be explaining a lot of things. Then I forgot was something happening on Friday this week as well. So it's a lot of stuff going on in April already, and we just in the 6th day of the month. So it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to get April the 30th.
Right, right. Listen, this just shows confidence in XRP's regulatory clarity following Ripple's legal resolution with the SEC. And then, these XRP futures open the door to more sophisticated trading strategies and broader adoption on Wall Street. And for the crypto industry, it shows that Coinbase is doubling down on ISO 200-2022 aligned assets as part of its long-term strategy.
Mm.
So
Oh,
listen,
they done with that.
XRP on Wall Street, y'all. On Wall Street.
Mm. That says a
Listen.
lot. My thing is this. I wonder is uh, Ripple think about IPOing, after this case is fully over with. You know,
Yeah, I don't
if it
know.
does that, boy, Lord have mercy.
Ooh, Lord, I tell you, I'm. Listen. I don't know. All I know is that big announcements keep coming. More adoption keeps coming. More news of adoption keeps coming out.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm just very interested and very excited to see how this continues to play out. And I'm excited because I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention.
Mm-hmm. I forgot to even add this too. The ETFs.
Oh yeah, the ETFs. Yep,
There's
yep.
over, I think, 18 applications now.
Listen.
Could you imagine? Because you got to remember, BlackRock is, I think, might be 19. But
Mm-hmm.
you got to remember, each platform going to have a certain amount of XRP
On their books.
on their books.
Mm-hmm.
And
For the
remember,
ETFs.
it's only 100 billion. And that's
Mm-hmm.
only what, 38 billion is in the escrow. The rest on the exchanges, but a lot of these exchanges don't have as much as they had prior because other people is buying, the institutions buying. So you think about that number now. I mean, 32
Mm-hmm.
million. There's an escrow, and you got you don't have as much on the exchanges. We hadn't even got to the 1,700 NDAs that's out there.
Listen. Right. But that's why I'm saying is so much happening that it just keeps um moving the adoption forward. And so, like I said, just like how the debit card snuck up on people, the internet snuck up on people, computers stuck up on people, the cell
True.
phone stuck up on people. Listen, and before you know it, it's everywhere. Before you know it's everywhere.
You're right.
So
You're
it
right.
started off like, oh, this ain't going nowhere. This ain't nothing. We got to look at this. But look at it now. All the things I mentioned is
Mhm.
everywhere, and people feel like now they can't do without it.
Well, I mean, it was made like that.
Right.
It was made for us not to live without. I'll say. You
Yeah.
know.
So that's what I'm saying about this adoption is that um, carrying around cash and money in your wallet is becoming obsolete.
Yeah.
It's becoming obsolete. Um, Even without the adoption of crypto, people use more of their digital forms of payment than carrying around cash to pay for stuff.
Hmm.
So I feel like that the powers that be were getting you ready anyway, slowly, without you even realizing it,
Yeah.
that this next phase was coming.
Hmm.
So listen, that's all we got for you this week. Those are some major, major, major announcements. You got a lot of homework to look up. So you got a lot of
Yeah.
homework. So we hope that this was informative as usual. Our weekly Sunday videos are meant to be packed full of information and meant to cover a lot of information and give a week's breakdown of what has transpired within the week, except for this last thing we gave you was something that we just couldn't hold for the 21st. We had to tell you about that, those XRP futures. We had to tell you about that now. But if you like this video, what should they do, Sean?
Like, share, and comment.
And subscribe as
And
well.
subscribe. And I'm sorry.
Subscribe and do it like we said, like with the point, what my husband did, the pointing. So listen, like, share, subscribe, and also consider becoming a part of our Patreon collective. Like I said, we have exclusive content there. We have a crypto guide there. We have a breakdown of XRP. We have a exclusive comprehensive guide to HBAR. And you will be able to connect with us live and chat back and forth with us live within that platform. So again, you guys have a great night. This is our weekly update. We ask you to always do your own research, and we're not financial advisors. So please, we're not giving you no advice about what to buy, what to do. You need to figure that out for yourself based upon your own research. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging with us, and let's break down these barriers and build legacy for our family and friends. Have a great one.